name, we have one of the best Twitter stands on the planet.
Oh wow.
You flatter me.
Yeah. One of our favorite internet girls in the world. Today we're talking about fangirl culture with Deanna.
Hi.
So Deanna, you can kind of introduce yourself and kind of give like background to like what you do on the internet, etc.
Sure. I am a freelance journalist and photographer, and I am also a student at Western, but that's not the main part of my identity. So my whole thing with internet culture is I was really heavy into Stan Twitter in like 2012, 13. Dina and I found each other on there, strangely enough. So then from there, I kind of got really in tune with the way fans talk about music, and that subsequently led to me networking with editors on Twitter, and that's how I got started freelancing. And it was a kind of a learning process while I was a teenager to kind of take it more seriously, even though it was a lighthearted thing. So I think that part of my life on the internet really opened my eyes to a lot of different social structures that are related and interconnected with fan culture and with like stuff that teenage girls like. So that's where it's been coming from.
Cool. So yeah, this episode is about fan culture, if you guys didn't get that already. We just want to discuss the kind of connotation that comes with the word fan, the gendered ways in which that word is used for the most part, because I think we can all agree you don't really hear like fanboy. Those are the ones that kind of get more villainized for, not villainized, but like, what's the word? Like looked down upon? Trivialized, good word.
Yeah.
Trivialized for having like these passions and liking these groups. So yeah.
Guys, please look up on Twitter,
Please!
Dina. Just like Dina's shit, because it's actually, what was your username?
I had like a few different ones.
Oh.
Change, because I'm sorry, if people from school found you, you had to change.
Yeah.
You had to change your
I
name.
made one because people from school were like, "Why are you always tweeting Zayn Malik?" And I was like, "Leave me alone."
I had like a One Direction Twitter, and honestly, when I made it, I didn't even like One Direction, which is so weird. Yeah, like I made it with one of my.
Because when did Zayn leave?
2015.
No. Yeah, Zayn left
Very
when I was in like
traumatizing moment.
first year.
I wasn't that into them anymore, so I'd been kind of like drifted away. But when he left, I was still really torn up about it because it was like the official ending of like my teenage years.
Yeah.
You know,
It
it
was
was
very
sad.
like monumental in that sense.
It was sad.
Yeah, you kind of like project your own life onto the timeline of a celebrity's career, and it's really weird.
Like you find a community within that, like, I can't speak for other like fandoms, but like especially in the One Direction
One Direction kind of like started, like this is a big claim to make, but like really was kind of instrumental in creating fan culture online.
Yeah, and
One Direction fans on Twitter literally created memes.
Revolutionized
They created
reaction pictures,
like the floating head icons.
Imagine.
Like
Number
they
87.
One Direction fans changed the game when it came to
Pizza
like
and Wi-Fi?
online presence.
that was pizza and Wi-Fi. Like,
Oh
that was
yeah.
One Direction fan thing.
Yes, like so many things that characterize the internet between 2011, 2012, 2013 even, like One Direction fans did it. I'm sorry, they did.
I think there's a boy band out now, right?
Like BTS.
I guess that's true. Okay.
One Direction, part of the appeal was their proximity to people like NSYNC or the Backstreet Boys, or maybe their opposition to them, because they're kind of a foil. They were like, we're the boys next door, we're not polished. And then K-pop was like hyper polished but also still very stylish and incorporating all that like fan interaction stuff, which K-pop was doing at the time, but it just hadn't spread beyond the borders yet.
When we discuss fan culture, it's really important to think about the ways in which a fan is seen and how it can be gendered. I think we talked about that coming into this podcast, but it was kind of like a demeaning thing to like be like a One Direction fan, or like even before One Direction, I was a huge Justin Bieber fan. I had all his posters like on my walls, and it was always something that it was kind of like the butt of the joke, where in reality, like you can be a fan, like you see guys make like fantasy football leagues, they have like all the memorabilia,
And ours doesn't get violent.
and it's like it doesn't get
It
violent.
doesn't get violent.
And it's like you guys are doing the same thing. Like you would cry if you saw freaking LeBron James. The fans have such a power to mobilize, which is so crazy.
Yeah.
And you can see it can kind of get manipulated through like commodification and trying to exploit these young girls. But at the same time, they're so powerful. Like they use their parents' money, their money, whatever money they have, to support these boys or the boy band that like One Direction. Like I spent $600 on a One Direction ticket.
I think another thing, like, one of the reasons why fangirls are seen as, like, so, like, just, like, the butt of the joke is because, in a lot of ways, like, fangirl culture, they express, like, their sexuality a lot. So, like, when we're talking about, like, like, people wanted Harry and Louis to, like, have sex. Like, there was, like, Wattpads. Yeah, like, there was, like, Wattpads that were, like, extremely sexual, and that's, like, a lot of creative writing, like, just, like, undoubtedly.
One of them, what was it called?
Oh, yeah, that movie. It was made into a movie.
Darker or something? Dark Harry, do you remember that movie?
After. One Direction fanfiction with Harry Styles and this girl, and After got published into a novel where she changed the guy's name to Hardin, and I'm like, okay, the same shit.
Yeah, that's
Harold.
Hardin Scott or something like that,
and
then
that was a meme too.
This is getting turned into a movie, and the guy that is playing him kind of looks like Harry, and I'm like, oh my god, this is so funny, because her name on Wattpad was literally like Imaginator 1DX or something, and this girl, her name's Anna Todd, she literally has a franchise now. She's like rich, like through After has its own fandom now of like girls that stand for the books, and then also like are fans of like the characters that, or like the actors that are playing the characters in the movie. So she really did the damn thing.
Mm-hmm.
One Direction fans, how they like, instead of fantasizing about themselves with the boys,
Like
they
shipping?
fantasized about the boys together.
Yeah.
These girls are like crafting these huge stories that are like intricate, and they're expressing their, obviously, skills for writing, but then they're also expressing their sexuality.
In a way, pop culture is seen as like a safe way for girls to talk about their sexuality.
For sure, yeah, that's what I was gonna say,
idealized,
yeah.
And it's like not within your proximity.
You're not gonna have sex with them,
Yeah.
so you're not gonna get pregnant.
Yeah, exactly. You're still pure, whatever. And like that was part of the fear too, like right back until the Beatles. The hysteria was like, oh my god, these girls are like feeling something sexual about these guys, and that was like terrifying for people.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not just like, oh, this is stupid thing to be wasting your time on. It's also the fear of like losing that purity for teenage girls.
Guys, I can't emphasize enough, like, I really, really thought in this life of sin, like, I was going to marry Zayn. Like, you could not tell me otherwise. And, like, I know it, like, sounds really stupid.
Like, freaking Camila Cabello was on,
she was
on One Direction
She followed
Twitter.
me.
I just think that they were able to forge such a sense of community and find people that they really connect with, whether it be someone that lives near them or someone that lives across the world.
A lot of people who don't, or, like, aren't into Instagram, I feel like Instagram's a new way of, like, forming communities. I don't know, do you guys still talk to people on Twitter that, like, you would meet up with, or?
More so like the friends that I make are through Instagram.
Yeah, me too. And I feel like people who don't do that think it's so fucking weird.